something has gone on, a law has been passed or something where it's been legalized for black broadcasters to have mild criticism of Deion Sanders. I don't know if you. I know the government has shut down, but they're still passing some laws, or maybe this is an executive order from Donald Trump. But both Bomani Jones and Emmanuel Acho had something fascinating to say about Deion Sanders, things that we've been saying forever, but I got to give these guys credit. And so let's start with Bomani Jones, and you got to listen to his sidekick gas up Deion Sanders for a long time, but then Bomani comes in and actually says some true things. Let's play shot number 3.
Deion Sanders is going to be the coach of Colorado in 2026.
Why would he be? The one thing we know about Deion is that he coached his sons basically every step of the way. They're gone now. He's not doing well health-wise. He already told you he don't want to recruit. That shows that like you actually don't kind of enjoy a lot of parts of this thing. What are they building towards? I think if Deion had gotten the TCU job, I feel like this would all look a lot different. He doesn't have no connections to Colorado. It's hard to get people to go over there. TCU, man, he lives in an area, maybe one of the best recruiting areas. He'd be close to home. I think he would be energized by being there. If he'd been hired those many years ago and he was going through these health issues, I don't think people would be like, oh, man, this is his last year. But because we all know that he ain't got no connection to Colorado, there's no reason for him to be there anymore. And I don't think it would mean that TCU would be a national championship contender, but I think it means that it would be 9-3 every now and again, and people would be happy with the program under him.
9-3 at TCU requires you to be a better coach than I think that he has demonstrated himself to be. I mean, has he done anything to make you think he can coach? They just got their doors blown off by Utah. Managing clock, stuff like that, Deion has not demonstrated himself to be great at. I don't think that his teams have a clear personality or a clear identity that speaks to a head coach.
Steve, that blows my mind. I'm being dead serious. It blows my mind. Bomani Jones is a changed man, away from ESPN occasionally.
First of all, this is a little bit disrespectful to Sonny Dykes. TCU is good. They're probably going to win 8 or 9 games right now. Last I checked, didn't they go to the national title game about 3-4 years ago? Yeah, they played Georgia, got blown away. They went to a national title with TCU. Okay. Couple things. We have to be fair about this, though. 2 of Colorado's losses, they had 14-point leads against teams that might be in the playoffs, BYU and Georgia Tech. I actually thought they were playing hard.
I think we got a bad connection. Are you defending Deion Sanders? Is that what's coming through my earpiece?
Being factual. I am being factual. They had 2 touchdown leads against 2 teams in the playoffs. So the team was actually playing okay. But suddenly, everything that's being said about Coach Prime, haven't people like yourself and JB been saying it for about 2 to 3 years? I do find it interesting that one game where they get blown out, now it's like, oh my God, there's some flaws in this. Jason.
No. Steve, I don't think you're giving these guys enough credit, or Bomani enough credit. I don't think this is one game. He's talking about in totality, and it's like, hey, I'm not on ESPN. I'm not pandering to Twitter. He's just.
I'm with you, but you could have, look, when I saw that footage of him fishing on his bye week, I said the same thing about Bill Belichick. When you go on vacation during a bye week as the head coach and you're not recruiting, to me, that's a fireable offense. It's an absolute fireable offense, because the bottom line is, if you're a big-time major program, that bye week, every coach is out there traveling and visiting recruits. That is the job. And if you don't want to do the job, get another job. The other thing is that I find interesting is that it wasn't that long ago that every time a big job came up, and even NFL jobs, those same people would say, Deion needs to get that shot. So think about this, Jason. This is my point. So 3-4 months ago, people were literally putting his name in for the Dallas Cowboys. And now he's not fit to coach Colorado. That's all I'm saying, Jason. We're really over one game. That's all I'm saying.
TJ?
Well, I don't think this is evidence at all, actually, for Bomani Jones. As far as Acho, I never take anything.
I'll play the Acho clip. You just comment on Bomani.
Yeah, all right. Here's Bomani. And I quote from March 4th, 2023. Okay. This was on his Game Theory show on HBO. This is right after Deion said, I like my quarterbacks to be from a two-parent household. All right. He said, quote, Deion is in a position that few black people ever get to. And he got to that position and he's out here sounding just like the whitest white man. What we need a black coach for in Division I, FBS, or anywhere else, if you're going to say the same stuff that the cats that are already there are already saying and doing the same things that they're already doing. What I'm saying is that Bomani has pegged him from day one as not black enough. So he's totally fine with him not succeeding.
Let me play the Acho part of this because again, this is a part of this whole legalization project that's going on that black people can actually say what they actually believe and think. Play Stot 4.
Now I got to address something Steven Jackson said to me real quick. Now, first off, Stat, you know it's love, but God, dog, don't y'all get tired of looking for reasons to be mad? You said that I'm a hater because I said Colorado's not a well-coached football team. They gave up 56 points in conference and 400 yards rushing. Deion Sanders would say they're not a well-coached football team. Furthermore, I said shout out to Deion Sanders for both recruiting those players and luring those players into Colorado. Shout out to Deion Sanders for creating the most exciting program in Colorado. Shout out to Deion Sanders for exceeding academic expectations that we haven't seen Colorado do in 20 years. Shout out to Deion Sanders for creating more buzz of a college football program than we've seen since USC in the early 2000s. But because I said they're not a well-coached football team, now I'm a hater. I'm not going to lie to be loved, bruh. If you give up 50 points and 400 yards rushing in a game, that's not being well coached. That'd be like giving up 200 points in a basketball game. What are we talking about? Like, just because somebody says a truth that you disagree with, now all of a sudden they a hater, they a hater, they a hater. I said about 15 things that was love. But because I said Colorado's not a well-coached football team, now Acho's a hater. It don't make no sense, bro. It don't make no sense. You know it's love. Shout out to what y'all have done on your platform. The reason y'all lapping cats is because y'all work hard and y'all are exquisite at what y'all do. I'm out.
Good Lord. He had to blow the whole. I never saw the ending. He had to blow the whole thing by kissing their rear. Y'all work hard, that's why y'all get ahead. It ain't, the whole system is not behind you.
Is he afraid he's going to get jumped? That's what it sounded like to me. You
Probably.
know, it's all love. I got to defend myself. And also, you guys are amazing.
Yes, you're
Well,
the greatest.
come on.
I love how high
Guys.
you guys get on air. That's awesome.
Guys, most of that was an uncomfortable conversation. Nobody wants to get jumped or shot at. I don't blame him. Acho, look out for your safety, man. I can see where you're coming from.
There's no question about that. But first of all, they gave up 53 points, I believe, not 56, like he said at the beginning. But
Okay.
those are just tiny details. But I give Acho credit, even though he ruined it at the end, because you got to apologize for speaking any truth to Steven Jackson or Matt Barnes. But I give Acho credit for, playing it straight. And I think this is part of a cultural or tone shift, or again, like, you can go ahead and do, people are tired of playing the game and just pandering to Twitter all the time. I think this is what Acho has said here and what Bomani has said here. I think this is significant and interesting.
Well, Jason, I have a theory. And I think during our times covering sports, writing about it, we've all liked people. We've all gotten behind the cause. We try to be fair and impartial, but there's certain things that we advocate for. I've had certain fighters that I've really liked. I'm sure you've had athletes that you were friends with, and you're like, man, I want them to do well. And you've pushed for them, and maybe you've given them more of the benefit of the doubt than you usually would. And when they let you down, you become harsher on them because you're like, wait a minute. After all this sticking up for you, you let me down, and you've embarrassed me. Do you think there's a part of that exists in this particular situation?
There's a slight part of that, but they also, I could have brought Kendrick Perkins into this, but I wanted to leave the basketball part of it out. This is football, and they're talking about the same deal. But I'm watching Kendrick Perkins in real time realize, hey, if I'm going to be a good broadcaster, I can't be best friends with all the players. And that's not me saying that he's handled the Ja Morant situation 100% properly, but it's me saying I'm watching him figure it out like, oh, this is why and again, I'm not saying he's saying this, but he's like, this is why Whitlock does it the way that he does. Because if he's actually going to say things he believes, these athletes are going to get upset, because sometimes you have to criticize the athletes because you got two eyes, you've got experience with the game, you know what good play looks like, you know what bad play looks like, you know what bad locker room behavior looks like. And if you're actually going to maintain some credibility, being BFF and getting invited to every cookout, because Kendrick Perkins has rattled off the names of the friend. Russell Westbrook's no longer friends with him. Him and LeBron are no longer friends. He's chosen to some degree to serve an audience rather than serve the athletes. And my mentality has always been serve the audience. The athletes, even back in my heyday, they were making millions of dollars. They were getting served. And now that these guys are making $15 and $20 and $30 and $50 million a year, why would I, as a journalist, sit around and serve them and make things easier for them? And again, that's what I think. Acho, I think any of these guys that are sincere. Now, a Stack, Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, they're a gimmick that's being backed up by people that want criminals hosting and in charge of things. They're not doing this seriously. They're two groupies being groupies for athletes. Some of the Kendrick Perkins has to earn it. Emmanuel Acho's now in the position where he's got to earn it. All that the wind that was at Acho's back from Oprah Winfrey and all the other people that were pushing him. Now that he actually he gets to eat what he kills, he's willing to kill a few things while apologizing for doing it. I'd say cut out the apology and just, man got to eat. Some of these athletes got to get killed. And you'll celebrate them when they do the right thing. You'll criticize them when they do the wrong thing.
If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.